Sunday.
All right, y'all. We're not Indians. We're not Native Americans. Right? They say they're older than both concepts. They say they're not Indians because we're the Indians. They don't want to be attached to niggas. They're not Americans either because they know they Siberians. Pay attention, folks.
And I did it without cussing. Freaking 22-year-old kid goes up on stage, looks at the crowd and says, "Hey everybody, is this a regular casino or is this an Indian casino?" You see how you all know? I didn't know. I didn't know because I didn't have TikTok to teach me. What I did have was a life experience that I'll never forget. As soon as I said that, the entire front row, which comprised of the tribal members from the casino, they all stood up, and one of them called me out in front of the entire audience. Hey, you don't say that anymore. The proper term is Native American. Please show respect. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. And I felt horrible, and I was so embarrassed. Fortunately, I had a second show at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock hits, I take the stage. I didn't need to be told 1,000 times that I messed up. That one time of me getting shamed in front of the entire audience was all I needed. That's why I'm a firm believer in shame.
Scrap what you heard in history class because this is what your Indian looks like. Them natives don't want to be called Indians because they don't want to be attached to niggas. These are not their people. Not their people. Virginia, where my people are from, yeah, it's my people. We just been fooled. Why they want to be Indians now? This is their people, allies in war, partners in peace, like I show y'all in the museums, right? This is my people, not theirs. My people, not theirs. My people, not theirs. They're not built like that. My people, not theirs. Ain't niggas just Indians? That's why they don't want to be Indians.
Monday.
A lot of Africans don't want to admit it, but as much as you have a lot of prejudice towards Black Americans, why do you try so hard to be like them, specifically the men? I'm like, be yourself, because why are you dressing like you're a Black American? You live in a mostly dominated African area. You don't even, the way in which you say that N-word sounds like you're using it as a slur, because at a certain point, you are calling them Akata, which I think is actually a slur, like a general slur referring to them. You are calling them that word, but you're using the N-word in the same sentence, dressing like them, trying to be like them with their lingo and slang and their language in your mouth, and you're still referring to them as a slave. Something is wrong. Some African countries, some Africans, specifically Nigerians, I'm not even going, specifically Nigerians, why do y'all do that? Because the way you weaponize that word Akata, it makes me uncomfortable. I don't care if we don't mean it in that way. If the people you're using the words to words consider it a slur, it is a fucking slur. What is wrong with y'all? Y'all try to be these people and then y'all go out of your way to make them uncomfortable. Like, what the fuck is going on? You are dressing like them. You are using their slang. Your AAV is majority of your language. You are even using the N-word. But in the same sentence, you're calling them a slave. Come on, base. Come on. What is going on? Y'all got to work on yourself. Something is wrong up there. I don't understand it. I genuinely feel like y'all are misguided. Y'all are culturally misguided. Y'all need to come back. Y'all need to self-reflect. Something is not right up there. And I don't care if you take offense to this video, because I'm calling all of you out because it's actually upsetting me now. Because not every African country use that word as a slur. Not every African country use that word, period. It's mostly Nigerians that use that word akata. And I even feel like they were the one that came up with it. I'm not sure. I don't know what the fuck is up with your referring to Black Americans as that, but that is not acceptable, or is it right? Like, what?
I'm coming to you as me, just me, not sassy, all the bullshit, just me. And I want you to know everything that happened with Mr. Tenderism in the Destination Barbecue is 100% your fault, social media's fault, and this app's fault. Everything was fine until the black folk found out that he didn't own that barbecue restaurant and he had a white slave master behind him forcing him to do everything. I bet you that relationship with him was just damn fine, but y'all could not fucking stand that wasn't his restaurant, and all the bullshit that Keith Lee and all the bullshit that went on in this fucking app. You destroyed that. You destroyed it. And you want to act like, oh, this white man's going to steal it. They've been stealing all of our inventions for years. They've been stealing everything from us for years. Just because somebody may know how to do something, they also may not know how to go about doing it, okay? I can have the brain power to fucking think of a remote control fucking ceiling fan, but I don't have the engineering experience, the backing, the money, and all that other brain power that fucking goes into it. Okay, so if that was equal partnership, y'all fucking ruined it. You ruined it based on fucking race. That man probably left on his own. Mr. Tenderism, y'all got under his skin. He thought, oh yeah, I'm gonna go get my own. I'm gonna go do my own. Let's see if y'all fucking support him now. Let's see if you show up for that old man and buy his stuff, crowdfund for him, GoFundMe's for that man to make his own restaurant. Because I guarantee you won't. Because there's no fucking racism in it for you. There's no fucking clicks and views in it for you if the boogeyman fucking white man is not behind the scenes running the game. Y'all did this to that fucking old man. And possibly a great friendship that him and that Destination Smokehouse owner had. You fucking did it. So go support him now. Go on over there and do it, because that's what y'all encouraged. That's what you encouraged him to do. Take y'all's asses over there and give that man some fucking money. We'll see the fucking truth. Y'all won't support him because there ain't shit in it for you no more.
Man, what's going on TikTok? How y'all doing? First and foremost, hope y'all having a wonderful day, and shout out to everybody. But check this out. And Africans, I want you to listen to this, okay? Africans, you can learn something from this. Now, this white woman got the nerve to scold at us and point the finger at us like we wrong because we see a victim in progress. That's what she's doing. She's mad at us because we peeped the game. We know y'all white folks, man. We know how y'all white people get down. Y'all are very deceitful. Y'all are like snakes sometimes. And y'all thought, well, we was going to sit back and just see this old black man going through it with this white man. We saw the jealousy and the envy of the white man that owned that barbecue spot. We saw that. We've been around white people enough to know how y'all get down. Y'all got a history of being jealous of black people. And y'all don't like when black people step in and save our people. That's why you mad. And yes, we will support him. Wherever he's at, black people going to support. He's going to get a lot of support. And guess what? He's going to be blessed. That's why the white boy business out there in California, that's why his business is going down. Because the niggas ain't supporting it no more. See, Africans, if there was an African, let's say the African with Mr. Tenderism, you Africans that see how the white man treating the African tenderism guy, y'all wouldn't say nothing. Y'all just let it happen. Y'all just be proud and thankful in your homeland. Like, oh, Mr. Ubuntu tenderism, he got a white man. Look at him, y'all. Look at white daddy. Look at Mr. Ubuntu tenderism. That's how y'all gonna treat it. Y'all ain't gonna say nothing. Y'all ain't gonna check it. We can't allow, black Americans do not allow for white people to play in our face like that. But y'all do. Y'all love them folks. Y'all think them people are guys. Y'all just be happy to live next to them, stand next to them, work with them, and y'all give y'all free labor to these people. But see, when we see our own people giving free labor or giving free game to them white folks, and we see how them white folks are receptive to the free game or the free labor that a black person give to them, we stop this shit. And it's going to be up to the black person to walk away from. We still gave Mr. Tenderism enough time to be like, come on, nigga. Get out that white well. Come on. And we gave him enough time. Now look at him. Black people support him. Black people stand behind him. That's why Africans, we different from you, motherfucker. Ooh, shit. We different from you. We just different. We just different. We watch out for our people. And sometimes we gotta let our people fall sometimes to understand, like, listen, we tried to tell you, but at least we told you. Our African wouldn't tell another African that because the African don't have discernment like that. Our African only look at white mommy and white daddy as a god. That's why they'll let an African look like a goddamn fool, because they don't know that African being played like a fool. Anyway, salute to y'all.
Tuesday.
We are indigenous, not immigrants.
I posted earlier yesterday where the man was talking about how he found out that the government, the Democrats and the fucking Republicans voted to give millions of fucking dollars so the immigrants can come up, programs for the immigrants to come over here and be doctors, lawyers, and congressmen and senators and all this shit, and all this training to do all this shit, to cosplay us. We've been wondering all this time how them motherfuckers get in these positions they in. Y'all, they replacing us. They fucking replacing us with foreigners in our own fucking land. Then that bitch got up there talking about immigrants built this fucking... We ain't no fucking immigrants. Them stupid motherfuckers don't even know we come from here. Talking about we don't know where we come from.
Hey, hi, how you doing? Y'all ever enjoy the satisfaction of telling somebody to shut your bitch ass up? I mean, I just feel like it has a ring to it, you know? Shut your bitch ass up. 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 Yeah, you should try it. But don't try it at work or school. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Now find some joy today.
Wednesday.
Ooh, whoopsie daisy, I beg to differ there with you, honey boo. As you may recall, one of my many endearing qualities is that I am 1/16 Navajo. And we all know that the ancestors of Native Americans arrived here via the Bering Strait from where? Asia! And what's in Asia? China! Sorry for trampling your corn, ma'am! Just eat towards the light!
Ladies, we need to be careful. I'm about to show y'all a video and he's trying to groom dumb Black American women. How many times are we going to let foreigners declare war on specifically Black Americans? Because these people have no love for us. So if he's rallying Black American women, he wants to do one out of two things. Either he wants to traffic us or use us for a green card because they know that TPS status is ended.
Accepting the woman, because the women don't know no better. So all my Black women out there who's following FBAs, I'm extending you an olive branch to drop the FBA bullshit and pull up on me. Follow my new movement. Where Black people unify. You feel me?
There's never been
There's
unity.
a lot of talented, smart Black women claiming the FBAs. And I figure, you know what? Y'all come with top Haitian, man. Come where where we prospering. You know what I noticed about the FBA, ladies? A lot of the FBAs, the men, they're old, broke niggas. Old, broke niggas who didn't figure out life. They failed. So now they angry on the internet and on TikTok, attacking Blacks. Like myself, like Haitians, Africans, Jamaicans, Bahamians. Anything that they feel like is not an FBA, they attack. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build my community. And I'm going to take y'all women. And I'm going to lead them the right way. The right direction. And you FBA niggas, you old broke niggas, all of y'all niggas be in y'all mama house, in y'all room with y'all little flag up there. I'm going to let you niggas starve.
This man just disrespected every Black American man in our community and called us to help them take them down. This man wants to take all of the Black American women to help him and Haitians and other immigrants, right? Probably marry their man and give them green cards so they can use us, like has been proven that they've done over and over and over again. Delineation is a must. These people are dangerous, and they're trying to destroy us from within. Instead of going back to Haiti and trying to build Haiti and make Haiti look like America, they're trying to make America look like Haiti. The TPS status is ending, and I hope the anchor babies have to go back home with them because they are the most dangerous. They have been granted American citizenship, but they have no love or respect for America, and that's treason. And they should be treated as treasonous.
Thursday.
God bless you. God bless you.
UK. Kadam. 60. UK. You're welcome. You're welcome, my God. 6 UK. Watela. Together. Jetu. Bamana. Somebody. Sofian. Following. Aya. Jetu. Scratching. Together. Family. Yes. I told you. Someone. Wow. Aya. Sofian. Oh my God. Sofian. In the church. Together. Perez. Paman. Sofian. One now. Everybody. What's going on? Oh my God.
I'm gonna simplify this for people. The only reason why they're giving FBAs a hard time, especially when it comes to delineation, is because people want to continuously keep infiltrating and keep extracting from it.
And she right, and the truth is, particularly West Africans, they ain't got nothing going on for themselves. Them West Africans ain't got no talent. They not fast. They not strong. They ain't got no confidence, no swag. Caribbeans got a little something going on. They not chopped liver. They got guys like Biggie Smalls, Busta Rhymes, Nicki Minaj. So I give Caribbeans, I give them a little bit. They're not better than us, but them West Africans they ain't got that dang thing going on with themselves. That's why they cannot let us go, right? And they notice the truth, right? They just can't leave us alone.
I'm saying all of these skits about us putting whites in slavery and shit. Like, firstly, okay. The first will be last and the last will be first. If we were the first, I mean, we were the first to do it. Okay? So that is our universal karma. It being returned. Okay? So now that we have learned our fucking lesson and are breaking out of it, that don't mean go back down the same fucking route that put you in the same fucking place in the first place. We will not be going back to any of those ways. We just removing motherfuckers off the land. We just not allowing motherfuckers back here. We not giving them access to shit. If they're not beneficial to us, we're not beneficial to them. It's simple as that. Stop pushing that bullshit. That's why we got put in the fucking place because motherfuckers start thinking like that. Stop that shit. Remove motherfuckers. That's all we got to do. If they choose not to, then we will discuss other routes. But I'm not putting nobody in no motherfucking slavery. I'm not putting nobody in no motherfucking chains. I ain't doing none of that shit. I'm not bounding nobody. I'm not binding nobody. If They trying to stay on my shit, steal my shit, then I'm going to remove them. I'm still not putting nobody in captivity because eventually they're going to have to get the fuck out.
So this and the land behind it is pre-colonization. And this is the afterworks of colonization, replacing the great mother with a artificial mother.
Friday.
You're, of course, familiar with the Supreme Court decision in Dred Scott versus Sanford.
Yes, sir.
That decision held that African Americans, whether slave or free, could not be citizens of the United States. Is that correct?
That is correct.
By denying citizenship, the court also denied African Americans equal political rights, equal access to the courts, and equal protection of the laws.
Correct. They were denied all privileges and immunities that the Constitution affords to citizens.
Would you agree that the Dred Scott decision pushed the nation even closer to civil war?
It did, by invalidating the Missouri Compromise, among other reasons.
Many historians posit the decision in Dred Scott helped cause the Civil War. And when that bloody war, the bloodiest war in America's history, ended in 1865, the legal status of the newly freed slaves was far from settled. Mr. Werman, after the Civil War, was it clear as a matter of law that the freed slaves would necessarily enjoy the full rights of citizenship?
It was not if Dred Scott was still good law.
Congress understood the danger of that uncertainty, and if the Constitution remained silent, the rights of the newly emancipated slaves could be challenged, undermined, or even potentially stripped away by future courts. That would mean that the blood shed in the Civil War was shed in vain. So Congress acted. In 1866, it passed the Civil Rights Act, declaring that the newly emancipated slaves were citizens of the United States. Mr. Werman, even after Congress passed the Civil Rights Act of 1866, were there serious doubts about whether Congress had the constitutional authority to enact it?
Yes, there were.
And so Congress chose a more permanent solution. The solution was to write citizenship itself into the Constitution so that never again could a court repeat the mistake and the gross injustice of Dred Scott. Also, the leading commentators of the period, like Alexander Morse, Francis Wharton, and George Collins, and the view of executive officials responsible for enforcing the law, including the Attorney General of the United States in 1873 and the Solicitor of the Treasury in 1889.
The consistency was remarkable, yes.
So would it be accurate to say that the view espoused by my Democrat colleagues that the 14th Amendment confers citizenship on anyone born on this land, whether here lawfully or unlawfully, temporarily or permanently, regardless of whether they owe allegiance to the United States, is a relatively recent view and directly contrary to the almost universal view at the time the amendment was ratified?
It's not at all clear to me when that view took root. The United States, in its brief to the Supreme Court, suggests during the administration of FDR, but it is certainly inconsistent with most everything that preceded it, everything except, I would say, the dicta in 1 Kim Ark, the incorrect dicta.
Do not complain about USA imperialism if your family is not indigenous to the USA or a descendant of a slave who was forced to be in this country. Because that means your parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, your ancestors willingly immigrated into a disgusting imperialistic nation, and you signed up for that, and your family really liked that the USA was imperialist and decided to come here anyways. Your family saw that indigenous people were being murdered and people were being enslaved, and they still came over here because they like that. Your ancestors are demons. You don't get to speak about USA imperialism when your ancestors purposely entered into a demonic agreement with colonizers. You are a colonizer yourself. If I invade your country and I take over everything in your country and then I invite millions of foreigners, what is the difference between me and the foreigners that I have invited to your country to take it over? We are working together to take you over. That's literally how it works. And that's how all you immigrants are. You work to invade Black indigenous neighborhoods. You are a colonizer. If I could deport you all right now, I would. And don't say it's because of poverty, because I have these tweets. I'm so tired of the people acting like the US soldiers don't voluntarily sign up for the military because they're bloodthirsty, genocidal freaks who take pride in unaliving and essaying people. But they do it because of poverty. Do you think people in the countries they're bombing live on the bed of effing roses? Mind you, this person is from Trinidad. Let's see the population of Trinidad. Let's see, 1.37 to 1.5 million people live in Trinidad. Let's round it, let's put it at 1.4 million, right? 200 to 300 people of Trinidad and Tobago live in the USA. So let's do 300,000 out of 1.4 million. That would be about 20%, 21%, maybe 22%, about 20%. So 20% of your entire country sat in the immigration office with a colonizer and begged for USA citizenship to stolen land. 20% of your people sit on indigenous land and have done nothing for indigenous people. And you think you have the nerve to tell anybody that they're imperialistic? You sit on indigenous land. You're squatting on someone else's land. And a foreigner is the one who invited you here and gave you citizenship. How dare you lecture anybody about imperialism? Let's go to this next person. I remember Black Americans attacking me for saying it's not only white Americans who do this and benefit from imperialism. All groups in America are guilty. This person is from Indonesia. I have something for that too. Yes, the Indonesian military extensively trains with the United States military, engaging in regular high-profile bilateral and multilateral exercises to boost maritime security and defense capabilities. Indonesia has partnered with the Hawaii National Guard. Hawaii, a colonized island. So you see, Hawaii has gone through imperialism. You purposely signed up with the Hawaiian military anyway, so. Indonesia receives $800 million to $1 billion annually in foreign aid. Indonesians, they're not too good to accept these imperialist tax dollars, though. Isn't that interesting? They're not too imperialist to, do trade with the USA government, the people that have been unaliving indigenous people. That's very interesting, right? Let's not weaponize blackness to defend black servicemen and women being imperialist lapdogs. And mind you, the original comment right here says that black people join the military in the USA because they're from undeveloped, majority black cities where they're targeted to join the military, right? And this is a Caribbean immigrant tether saying that we shouldn't make excuses. Mind you, he lives in the USA. So what was your worthless Caribbean mother doing when she was in that immigration office trying to get access to stolen land? What was your imperialist mother doing when she was celebrating living on land where people have been unalive for hundreds of years? What was your mother doing? If you fled your country like a loser, if you don't fight for shit in your country, you can't protest your own government, but you're protesting in the USA against Trump, you have no say on imperialism. You are a loser. You are the biggest imperialist. Indigenous people and enslaved people did not choose to be here. Your family chose to be on somebody else's land like a loser. You don't talk about imperialism. Go back home, build your country, and then you can play morality games somewhere else. But you're not doing it here. I'm gonna start holding all you accountable. As soon as I see that y'all are immigrants, you're getting tore up from the floor up. This is not gonna keep going on. It goes for all you white liberals with your ancestors from Europe. Talking about this is stolen land, so give it back. Leave and give it back. This is stolen land. Nobody's illegal on stolen land. Actually, everyone is illegal on stolen land except for indigenous people and enslaved people. The rest of you can go home. Anybody who says nobody's illegal on stolen land should be deported. Because why are you on stolen land, like you said? Period.
And I do got one more question. How did you get the name Papoose?
Well, when I was born, my grandmother felt like I resembled an Indian baby. So instead of saying baby, the Indians would say Papoose. So
and that's how you got the logo in the back. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's my logo. So okay. She named me Papoose, and it's so crazy you said that because being here in America, we don't even know our history, where we're from, anything. And I recently found out my grandmother eventually died from cancer. Mm-hmm. So Papoose was always my name. Like when I first went to school and I found out Papoose wasn't my real name, I was so confused because all my family members, everybody called me Papoose. So when they was teaching me how to write my name, I was like, "What's this?" I didn't even know my real name wasn't Papoose. You know what I mean?
Oh man.
Yeah, word. So when I came into the music business, I didn't want to make a fictitious name. My grandmother eventually died from cancer. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep my name, which is Papoose. And I the reason why I said a lot of our people don't know our history, I also found out that my grandmother was actually Indian. You know what I'm saying? So she named me Papoose. So it all made sense.
A Nigerian and a South African slid into my comments talking about how I look like I belong to them. Oh, now you want to claim us? Wow. My dear friends across the Atlantic, if you're offended by me drawing a line in the sand, that's your problem. Settle it yourself because this has nothing to do with you. So why are you even in my comments? Now imagine this. I take your lineage, erase your entire bloodline and replace it with my multi-great-grandmothers of the Americas whose blood is soaked so deep in this land it touches time with no beginning and no ending. And I tell you that you came from here, that your ancestors pale in comparison to mine. How would that sound? Would you feel offended? Would you come for my throat? Yeah, I said throat. I think you would though. So why are you offended by me telling the truth? I am officially telling y'all, stop listening to Caucasians about a story that has nothing to do with my people. And look, you're not even offended by me. You're offended by the mirror. You're offended because the story they sold you, the one that made you feel entitled to judge us, to claim us or not, take or leave us, that type of shit. To take our culture and inventions, right? That story is collapsing. And now you're standing in the rubble of your own ego. But here's the thing that you need to understand. Those colonizers gave your people our identity fraudulently. They handed y'all a script and said, these people belong to you. And y'all believed it without one shred of evidence. That gave y'all, strangers to us, an ego. Made y'all feel like you have a seat at our table. Better yet, made y'all feel like you have an elevated seat at our table. A right to speak on us, to insult us, to tell us who you think we are. But here's the secret they never told you. Them colonizers knew they were lying. They fed that story to African nations, not out of connection, but to do a land grab, to steal the land of my ancestors. Ooh, does that sound familiar? The part where they stole your land and resources. See, what you don't realize is this. They practiced on us first for hundreds of years. They used y'all as a tool to erase us, to make us foreigners in our own home. And now here y'all come repeating their script, thinking you're entitled to my bloodline. Dig yourself and go pray to that white Jesus. At least us lost Indians over here changed that character into a brown one.
Saturday.
Is you ain't my baby. Baby, please don't let me down.
Hold on.
A woman is a creature that's always been strange. And then you turn around, then she don't go made a change.
You just let her into it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, looks like we gonna be running for president because the white folk like me. In fact, I ain't running for president. I like vice president because I like a boss above me.
I want to know what's funny. I want to get in on the hee and the laughs, right? Because as Black Americans, a lot of us are aware that Stephen A. Smith participates in coonery and house nigga activity. We can agree to that part. But why do two African men and a Caribbean woman find joy and laughter and happiness in reenacting minstrel show that affected Black Americans? What is funny about that? There's no difference between what you guys are doing and what white people actually did themselves. And this is what I mean when Black Americans uplift people such as Godfrey, who has spoken up for Black Americans in many cases. Niggas will always slip up. Because there is no reason why he should have reenacted that. There's no reason. I don't give a fuck that you're trying to call Stephen A. Smith a coon. There is no reason why he should have reenacted minstrel show. Why did he? And why do they find joy and happiness in that? Mind you, Joy Reid is also wearing a Immigrants Make America Great sweatshirt. So dissing Black Americans, even though we're the ones that fought for you guys to be here.
We had the flame ships, we had the temples, the mounds, the star maps. So how did they take over? Because it wasn't war, it was betrayal. They couldn't match your tech, they couldn't match your soul, so they infiltrated. Married into the bloodlines, used the flame against itself, and whispered lies into our most sacred minds. They divided women from man, tribe from tribe, God from goddess. Then they cut our tongue, erased our names, and then turned our scrolls into scriptures of control. You didn't lose your power. You were taught to forget it. Say it with me. Shabuyayak. Summon the flow of memory. Let the soul water rise.
Not the ones who fucked up birthright citizenship. Y'all fucked up birthright citizenship.
I love my girl Jazz there. She's so pretty and graceful. She gonna give y'all grace, but I'm gonna give y'all hell. Cause as soon as we upset y'all call us slaves, y'all talk about Jim Crow, y'all talk about police brutality. These are things that you knew before you immigrated to this country, and you were perfectly okay with that. You were perfectly okay with people like me getting treated like boo-boo in this country. And you think I'm supposed to feel bad because now you're getting a taste of our medicine? I don't care about any of y'all people. You're disrespectful, you're ungrateful, and you can leave. No more anchor babies for you. I'm so happy y'all decided to stay in your own communities, because this birthright citizenship change is going to open the doorway for a whole lot more laws and amendments. If you're flying a flag that ain't American, go home to that country you love so much.
Y'all, this is crazy. Jasmine Crockett, head of security, was a wanted fugitive. When they deleted him, he was using somebody else's identity.
To North Texas law enforcement officers and U.S. Capitol Police, he was known as Mike King, but sources tell us that's not the name of the man shot and killed by Dallas police on Wednesday night during an investigation into his alleged double life as a suspected criminal, also working as a security officer for a local U.S. Congresswoman. These images of Mike King standing close to Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett shows how trusted he was as part of her security detail while she's been in office and while on the campaign trail during her recent run for a U.S. Senate seat. Multiple law enforcement sources say King was the man shot and killed after a standoff with Dallas police SWAT officers on Wednesday night. Police say he was chased into a hospital parking garage where he barricaded himself inside a vehicle before he was forced out by tear gas and pulled a gun on officers. Sources say he was wanted for impersonating a law enforcement officer. Sources say he claimed to be one while operating a business called Off-Duty Police Services, an online platform to connect North Texas law enforcement officers with off-duty jobs. Authorities have yet to reveal King's real name.
Y'all, he was out there impersonating police officers. And check this out. His vehicles had stolen license plates from outside of military recruiting centers. So, you know, those U.S. government license plates that they roll around in? He stole those license plates and smacked them on his vehicle. Now, how was he able to obtain such a high security clearance? Because they're not just hiring anybody to work with congressmen. All his identity theft, a wanted fugitive, and he was still able to work with congressmen providing Jasmine Crockett security. And when they deleted him, the identity that he was using is not his identity. They still haven't released his real identity, who he really is. And in Jasmine Crockett office, no comment. They haven't released a statement yet. Man, I'm just dying to see, was this guy an undocumented immigrant? I really want to know who he is. But yeah, I'll keep y'all posted on this one. I will keep y'all posted.
Belong to the black slaves that came to America and their descendants, and I get that. I get and understand that concept. But what it does, it furthers this idea of separation. Yeah. And I think back again to childhood and the stuff that even as an adult, like, I'm not African. I'm anything but African, right? I got Indian in my blood. I'm Creole. I'm anything but African. And so when you say foundationally Black American, it's like, yes, I can say I'm foundationally Black American, and I am not you. I'm like, no. Because like my father used to tell me, I don't know what all this fuss is about. They are the same people. You guys are brothers.
Yeah. I really, truly do not understand what is separatist about the term foundational or foundational Black American FBA. No matter what we call ourselves, whether we say Black American, foundational Black American, ADOS, Solon, whatever it is we say, I really don't understand how that is any different than any other group around the entire world, not just people of the Black ethnicity, people who are from the African continent or from the Caribbean or from anywhere around this world, everybody has a name for either their tribe, their ethnic group. Like, everybody technically is a separatist. So I don't understand why we're the only group that everybody looks at like we're supposed to be all inclusive and sort of diluted and generic, but everybody else can be specific. I really don't understand that. It's like everything that we do is supposed to be all inclusive, but everybody can keep their unique shit to themselves and it's for them. But we're supposed to share everything that we have. And I think that that's the part that frustrates a lot of Black Americans, is feeling like we always got to share our shit, but everybody else get to keep their stuff for themselves. It's annoying. It actually really just is annoying. It's not even about not wanting to be African, but it's like whatever is going through our DNA, we can't really truly trace any of that stuff. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I have West African DNA. I'm pretty sure that's the reason why my skin is dark brown and my hair is kinky type 4. Like, I'm sure that having West African DNA is the reason why I have the certain looks that I have, and certain features that I have. But that doesn't. I mean, to be honest, I'm actually kind of tired of explaining this. It just seems like no matter how we explain it, people are still pissed off. People are still mad. People are still saying that we're xenophobic. People are still saying that we don't love ourselves and we don't want to be who we are. And we don't know who we are because we don't claim the entire continent of Africa. So that means that we don't love ourselves and we don't want to be African. We want to be anything except African, like he said in the video. Oh, I'm Indian. I'm mixed with this. I'm mixed with that. I'm a Creole. I'm this. Well, Creole is an ethnic group. It's a kind of like a tribe in a way. Just like the Gullah Geechees. I mean, there's different aspects of people from around the United States, just like anywhere else, guys. It's not really different. It's not really that different here. I mean, I just don't understand why. I just don't understand what is so separatist about it. I really don't get it. I just don't understand it. And maybe I don't need to be trying to explain it. Maybe I don't need to understand. Maybe I just let the shit go and just let people feel how they feel. If people feel like we're divisive and we're xenophobic, maybe I should just say, you know what, that's fine if that's how you feel. I'm going to continue to do whatever I'm doing and thinking however I think. And if you're offended, then go ahead and be offended and you'll be fine.
Fun of me being African, and she goes, and I will never forget, she goes, well, at least your ancestors weren't slaves.
Here we go.
See, at least you have something to connect to.
How?
They don't. It's coming. And
Okay,
I go, wow, that's the truth. She goes, that's coming from trauma. That's coming from insecurity. Yeah, and but if you don't understand that as a 12-year-old, you're just like, they're just making fun. Right. Most 40-year-olds don't understand. No doubt.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was just going to add to that. This is like that trauma I get now as an adult, but I don't think a lot of, like Black Americans understand the trauma that also caused, because, if you're participating, and you saw it throughout movies, you saw it throughout music. I mean, all of it kind of crapped on the Black African immigrants who came to this. And anyone who denies it or says, as I saw in some of the comments, get over it. That was then. Whoa. Now we say get over it? Now we say get over it? There's a...
First of all, Godfrey, I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. Now, I was told after I made that video, low-key lightly singing your praises, that I need to be careful because you kind of straddled the fence. And now I'm seeing exactly what the hell people were talking about. And I think this podcast is just like so ironic. All these Nigerian men do is sit around and talk about Black American culture all day. Talking about at least they have something to connect to. All you guys do, Godfrey and Bullheaded, Milk Dudhead, is connect to Black American culture and history. That's all y'all do. I don't see y'all sitting up there delving into what was going on in Nigeria. And then the guy gonna say, oh, well, it was embedded in the music, in a who was making fun of Black African immigrants? The only person I know that built a solid career off of mocking and being funny and denigrating Africans was Michael Blackson, who is an African immigrant himself. Anybody else, I did not see anybody use that as their niche, as their shit. maybe a joke here or there in 1 or 2 movies in 1992 does not constitute as the whole entire entertainment industry or music industry denigrating African and Caribbean immigrants. Y'all are lying. And then you're going to say, oh, now get over it. As if you're comparing that to slavery and Jim Crow. What are we doing here? You with your milk dud, Mr. Milk Dud head ass. You really just got up there and tried to say, oh, now we're saying get over it. So you're basically comparing us telling you being teased as a child, being bullied as a child. Those are things are like a rite of passage in Black American culture. You're comparing that to what other people, other races. That's that white supremacy stuff. You're comparing that to when other races tell us to get over racism, systemic oppression, Jim Crow, redlining, school to prison pipeline, our communities being burned down. You're comparing being teased as a kid in school and people telling you to get over it to all of the things that Black Americans suffered at the hand of racism in this country, so that you and your friend, your Nigerian friend, Godfrey, could even come over here and sit your funky ass on a goddamn couch and talk about Black Americans day and night. This is disrespectful. You guys are disrespectful. There is no comparison. Y'all think that y'all was supposed to come over here and get the red carpet rolled out for y'all and be treated differently. We all got roasted. We all got teased. We all got bullied. Who do you think you are? It's that African superiority complex. I'm telling you, they feel like they wasn't supposed to get. First of all, everybody, white kids get teased and bullied in school. It is not just something that is strictly for immigrants that's deeply melanated. Like, come on. They got to censor themselves so much so that they really in their deluded minds think that they were the only ones that may have been teased. And a lot of you all were not even teased. A lot of you all are literally picking up somebody else's storyline and running with it to fit your narrative. And talking about at least their ancestors wasn't slaves. Y'all love to take a dig at slavery as if Nigeria still don't got slavery going on today. Give me 1 second. Let me read y'all something. Yes, what is known now as modern Nigeria had a significant history in slavery, including both internal domestic servitude and participation in the transatlantic slave trade. Indigenous slave systems existed for centuries, and in the 19th century, roughly half the population of the Sokoto Caliphate in the northern Nigeria was enslaved. Local and British influenced slavery continued in some areas even into the 1930s, and it's even still going on in 2026. Don't fucking play with me talking about at least your ancestors wasn't slaves. Y'all don't know y'all's history. That's what the issue is. Y'all do not know y'all's history. Y'all was not exploited and exposed to the world on a world stage the way that Black Americans were. Because if you want to delve into your history and what's going on with your people, it's never been pretty. Internal slavery. Before and during European contact, slaves were common in many societies. Y'all was enslaving each other. Often acquired slaves. Y'all still doing it now. Y'all have house girls and house boys. Y'all sell y'all little kids off in Nigeria. Come on, let's get into it. It's very sad what's going on. Then, of course, transatlantic slave trade. Coastal areas, particularly the Bight of Benin or Slave Coast, including Lagos, were major hubs, and local elites often selling war captors to European traders and the Arabs. Y'all started selling y'all started selling each other to the Arabs. The Arabs was in it, and y'all still, child. Northern Nigeria, the Sokoto and Caliphates had one of the largest enslaved populations, estimating to 2.5 million people in the early 20th century. Abolition, the way it even ceased to exist. While officially prohibited by the British colonial administration in the 1880s, but your ancestors wasn't slaves. Your ancestors ain't my ancestors. Your ancestors over there in Nigeria, slavery was happening. And it's still happening today. Local slavery was not fully eradicated in some regions until the 1930s or the 1940s. And you, Nigerian, you gonna get up there and say, well, at least my ancestors wasn't slaves and it's trauma and all of this. Y'all don't know y'all's history, because if you did, you would never get up here and try to mock Black American slavery. A lot of us were not slaves. There were hundreds of thousands of freedmen over here. Pick up a fucking book and stop using our history when it's convenient to try to grift and catch a lick and make a bag and get a click in the view. It's getting tired now. It's getting tired. Like, imagine Black Americans just sat up a podcast and started talking about Nigerians all day and night. Out of nowhere, unprovoked. The only reason why I talk about these people is because we're receipt keeping now. Because they like to get on these platforms and say, well, I never said that. I never said that. We never said that. No, y'all constantly use slavery as a dig. Y'all constantly say we have nothing to connect to. We have no culture. We don't know who we are. Now we gonna keep receipts on that ass because y'all would love to get up here. And when we start to say, okay, we're gonna close the borders, we're gonna close the door, we're gonna put on for ourselves and focus solely on our communities. Pockets of y'all are cool as hell. We love everybody. You good energy, but you're not our main focus. We're not all one. We're not all the same. Are we the same? We all been Black Americans. No, y'all haven't. Y'all maintained that you were all different. Y'all had something to connect to. At least your ancestors wasn't slaves, yet they were, and they were slaves way longer than we were, and they still are in 2026. Anyways, I could go on for days, but imagine, like I said, us just sitting up in a podcast studio talking about Nigerians all day.
Hey, y'all. Oh my goodness. I wanted to update y'all about this whole birthright citizenship thing that's going on. Okay. If you're not aware, Trump has been talking about going after this birthright citizenship for a while. So they just had some hearings and whatnot. So he made an executive order about it. So, in a nutshell, if either parent is either a U.S. citizen or a permanent resident and their child was born here, like you're the child, you are considered a U.S. citizen. However, if you were just born here and both your parents are immigrants, maybe undocumented, maybe not, and no one's a U.S. citizen or permanent resident, you are considered a non-U.S. citizen in 30 days. Sorry for the shadow, y'all. 30 days. So, 22 states are fighting against this. And they have an injunction, and I will list all of them here. Arizona, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Hawaii, Illinois, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Nevada, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, North Carolina, Oregon, Rhode Island, Vermont, Washington, Wisconsin, and also joining the lawsuits are the city of San Francisco and DC. Everybody else, they ain't filed nothing. So if you are in that situation and you are living in the rest of the states, child, you may want to consider moving or something. But yeah, that's what's going on right now.
Your ancestors ain't know what, see, you probably sound young, brother. Your ancestors back then in my age group, they ain't know what clothes were.
20 seconds, Mr. Covenant. I'm 20
Yeah,
seconds.
they ain't really know what clothes were, brother. We was watching y'all on the 10 cent a day commercials with the skinny bodies, with belly swole, worms coming at you. Hey, man, we thought it was a movie. I was a kid. I didn't even know if it was real.
Mr. Tetherism, should reparations in America be based on lineage or global Black identity?
It should be based strictly on lineage. Everybody Black that ain't entitled to what we got going on, just like we ain't entitled to them gold mines and them diamond mines over there. They ain't entitled to what we got going on over here, man. We let them wear Jordans. We let them put on jerseys. We showed them how to brush their teeth. I mean, what else? I mean, God dang, we can't just keep, But our land, we need to that need to be strictly us. We don't need to deal with nobody else. Straight up. We need to stop mixing kids and all. I don't believe in mixing none of that. No, I don't talk. What do you mean, I don't talk tether niggas.
No, what do you mean brush my teeth though? What do you mean by that though?
Yeah, he calling us African. That's like the equivalent of spitting in somebody's face, man. He can't help it. But I think we just need to focus on what we got going on.
20 seconds, Tabernator.
Yeah. We need to just focus on what we got going on, cause them African people, hey, they ain't even civilized enough. We've been, man, we 200 years ahead of them people. They just coming out the huts. Them people don't do nothing. They ain't hut architects. That's what I call it. Ain't nothing but some hut architects. They went to the University of Huntsville at the Learning Center in Minnesota. The Learning Center. That's where they all got them degrees from. I land my plane.
You see, I'm not even going to go off on a tirade. All I'm going to say is shit like this. FBA, the Foundational Black American. These niggas ain't involved in nothing outside. They ain't doing shit outside. They on the internet looking for niggas that look just like them. Always lead to shit like this.
If I can gather all of you in one place with a strap,
that will always lead to shit like this.
Minutes ago, ABC News learned the ODU shooting suspect, Ahmed Jalla, was convicted 10 years ago of attempting to provide material support to ISIS.
No, I'm not pasting blame on Dante Kyle or nothing like that. But that's the own lady, or whatever the fuck she is, that African lady and these African dudes who's out here doing these atrocious crimes. Yeah, some of that guilt kind of does fall on you. You want to keep talking shit to us like we're doing something.